A long time ago, in a quiet little village, a poor farmer and his wife lived a simple life. They worked from early morning until sunset, doing everything they could to keep their fields alive. But life was very hard for them. They had no children, and this left a deep sadness in their hearts. One stormy night, the farmer was returning from his land when he heard the sound of a baby crying. He followed the sound and found a small baby boy wrapped in cloth, lying near the edge of the field. The farmer picked the baby up gently and hurried home. His wife was shocked when she saw the child, but her eyes filled with joy. "Maybe God has sent this child to us," she whispered with tears. From that moment, they raised the boy as their own. The boy who worked in silence years passed, and the boy grew into a strong, kind young man. He helped his parents every day plowing, planting seeds, carrying water, and caring for the fields. Unlike many others, he never complained or argued. He worked quietly, patiently, and with full dedication. Slowly, the crops on his land began to grow better than anyone else's. His grains were larger, and his harvest was always full and healthy. But instead of being happy for him, the villagers became jealous. Some whispered that he must be using tricks. Others laughed at him and insulted him. A few even broke his tools or stepped on his crops when he wasn't watching. Yet the young man never raised his voice or fought with anyone. He stayed calm, kept working harder, and treated everyone with respect. Jealousy in the village one year, heavy rains fell for days. The river flooded, and every field in the village was ruined. Crops were washed away, and families had nothing left. Children cried from hunger, and people sat helpless, wondering how they would survive. Only one person still had food, the young farmer. He had carefully saved his grain, storing it safely. He could have kept it just for himself and his parents, but his heart would not allow it. So every night, while the entire village slept, he cooked food and quietly placed it at the doors of hungry families. When people woke in the morning, they found warm meals waiting for them. They were amazed, but no one knew who was helping them. Even after this kindness, the villagers continued to insult him during the day. They never imagined it was his hands that kept them alive. The flood and secret kindness one evening. After a long day, the young man sat outside his house and wondered, "Why do people dislike me when I mean no harm? Why is kindness returned with hurt?" But someone had watched everything. An elderly villager, too old to work, but still very observant, had seen the young man delivering food during the nights. The next day, when the villagers gathered, the old man stood up and said loudly, "You call this young man a cheat? Do you know who has been feeding you all these nights? It is him. Without him, many of you would not be here today." The crowd fell silent. Shame replaced their jealousy. For the first time, they looked at the young man with regret instead of anger. The truth revealed that same evening, riders arrived, carrying the royal seal. They announced that years ago, the king and queen had lost their baby boy during a violent storm. They had searched everywhere, but never found him. Now, after many years, clues had led them to this village. When the royal guards looked at the young farmer closely, they found the birthmark that belonged to the missing prince. At once, they understood who he really was. The king and queen soon arrived and ran to embrace him, crying with relief. The villagers bowed in fear, remembering how harshly they had treated him. The lost prince returns the king, angry over the villagers' cruelty, ordered his soldiers to punish them. But the young man knelt before his parents and said, "Father, Mother, please do not harm them. If I forgave them when they hurt me, how can I punish them now? Let us show mercy." His words moved the king and queen deeply. The villagers began to cry, touched by the prince's gentle heart. From that day forward, He was known not just as the heir to the throne, but as the Prince of Mercy. The Prince of Mercy, his parents the farmer, and his wife, who raised him with love, were honored in the palace, and lived the rest of their lives in comfort and happiness. And the young prince's life became a reminder to everyone. Jealousy and cruelty may rise like storms, but they never stay. In the end, only kindness remains, bringing light, hope, and love wherever it goes.